Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to all of you for this last and concluding part of introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is. Last week we have heard how to receive knowledge. Then we have studied how every human being has four defects. One is we commit mistakes. Number two, we become illusioned. Number three, we have imperfect senses. Number four, um, we have cheating propensity. So anybody who has these four defects, cannot expect to give perfect knowledge. So if we need perfect knowledge, we should get knowledge from a perfect person who is free from these four defects. So who is that perfect person? We will hear today. A man is born ignorant. So that is why the first guru of a child is his mother. So everything he learns from his mother initially, then father, then the teacher. So because we are born ignorant, that is why we need to go to the school and learn from a authoritative teacher, like that. So man is very curious all the time to explore more new things and receive more knowledge, like that. So there are three ways of receiving knowledge. One is not three, actually there are 10, but mainly three are described like that. First one is pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha pramana means scientific theories, they say, scientists, they say, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Unless I see something, I will not accept. Right? So that is why they say, when we say Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they say that Atma, Paramatma, Karma, and then these modern people, they say, because we cannot see Atma, because we cannot see how Atma is going to another body. So we will not accept Atma, and then we will not accept reincarnation. And then because we cannot see God, so we cannot accept God. So whatever we can see with, and then do experiment with our instruments, observation and all, that only we will accept. But like I mentioned before, We can this knowledge that is received from pratyaksha pramana is incomplete, is imperfect, because our senses are imperfect. That is why we cannot have perfect knowledge. So that is why we have mentioned last week that we cannot have a machine which has 100% accuracy. Why? Because our senses are imperfect. So whatever we make with these senses, they are going to be imperfect. Instruments are imperfect. Machines are imperfect. Our brain is imperfect. Everything about us is imperfect. So that is why we commit mistakes. Our knowledge is incomplete. We forget many things. We cannot recollect at appropriate time. So that is why any knowledge that is based on pratyaksha pramana is not perfect. We will not say it is wrong, because we cannot say scientific knowledge is wrong, but scientific knowledge is incomplete. Incomplete. That is why they make so many uh, scientific inventions that destroy our nature, or that is very dangerous to mankind, just like atom bombs, and all these warfare instruments and all. So they are detrimental to the welfare of the society. If they knew that atom bomb is so dangerous, they would not have made, which is actually endangering the human race. Srila Prabhupada always used to say that once you have made so many bombs, one day they will use it. It's very, very dangerous, like that. So they are making so many inventions that is destroying our environment, our nature, and then making this earth uninhabitable. Uninhabitable. So that is why Srila Prabhupada always used to say, God has given them intelligence, but they are misusing it, like that. So that is pratyaksha pramana. Another example is Prabhupada gave that when you see the sun, it looks like a small ball, but it is not so. It is a huge planet, and then all the energy that is coming from sun god only, which sustains the entire universe, like that. So there, and then another is Anumana Pramana. Anumana Pramana means speculation, speculation. Just like it is doubt. Just like they say, unless there is some fire, there cannot be smoke. There cannot be smoke. So sometimes, so that is why we conclude, as soon as we see there is some smoke, there should be fire. But it is not correct under all circumstances, because sometimes from far away in the mountains we see there is a smoke, but actually when you go and see there will be no fire. So like that, Anuman Pramana can be wrong. Srila Prabhupada gave this example of Darwin's theory. Darwin's theory is only Anumana. So far it is only a theory. It is not science. It is not science. One of our devotees has counted in the book of Darwin's theory how many times they have used, he especially Darwin used maybe, I believe, I think. So 99 times he had used maybe, I believe, I think. So that is his belief, Darwin's theory. Nobody had seen a monkey becoming a man. He says that survival of the fittest. But Srila Prabhupada said Nobody is fit enough to survive because everybody has to die. So our intention is not to discuss too much Darwin's theory. Some other time we can discuss. But it's only a speculation. So far, it was not proven scientifically. Unfortunately, in India, they don't discuss so much. But in the Western countries, in certain states, in certain schools, they protested about teaching Darwin's theory and Big Bang theory. So in some of the schools, this Darwin's theory is not taught because it was not proven. It's not proven. So in sometime in 1920s, because they are worried about some missing link in the evolution of the species. They have one scientist. He brought some skeleton. Then he painted in such a way that it looked antique. It looked very old. And then he presented, oh, this is a missing link. Later on, it was found out that it was cheating. So if they had really proven that Darwin's theory is correct, so why they had to do this kind of cheating? So, so this Anumana Pramana, and then there is some other Pramanas like logic and all. Then historical proof. So history also plays a very important role. Recently, one professor, one CBI ex-CBI director, he was mentioning that how they had whitewashed Islamic bloody, kind of destruction of the temples. So sometimes the history also can be wrong because the historians like our India, they have done, leftist historians and those who are anti-Hindu, so they have distorted history, and then they taught distorted history. We were all taught distorted history like that. So it can be also wrong. So when all the other pramanas they fail, when we cannot knowledge about certain things which cannot be obtained by our senses and our mind, can be obtained through Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana means receiving knowledge from authoritative sources. It is just like Prabhupada gave this example that suppose if a child wants to know who is the father, the best authority is the mother. In the same way, if you want to know who is our supreme father, the best authority is Veda Mata. So, why we should accept Vedas as the supreme authority? Because, like I mentioned before, Veda is not some book. Veda means knowledge. Knowledge. So, just like when any gadget is invented, so manual is given. In the same way, when God has created this universe, he had given this manual called Vedas, how to live in this world, how to maintain in this world, how to maintain this world, how to live happily in this world. So all the principles are given in Vedas. So that is why. So Vedas, they are not written by any ordinary person, because Vedas are that is why they are called Apaurusheya. Apaurusheya means Vedas are not written by any ordinary human being who is having 4 defects. So they are given by a perfect person, the God Himself, for the welfare of all the human beings and all the living entities. So that is why in our childhood, whenever we would say something, they would ask immediately, oh, is it said in Vedas? So Vedavak hai kya? So they would question. because Vedas are so authoritative, emphatic. So whatever is said in Vedas, uh, they can be proven later on, by practicing whatever is given. But nobody can prove that whatever is said in Vedas is wrong. They can deny, out of blind faith, they can deny that I don't accept, but they cannot disprove anything that is said in Vedas. They simply deny it. We can, okay, that is okay, but they cannot prove them wrong, because they are directly given by God. For example, Srila Prabhupada gives this example. Cow dung, usually when any human being, even if it is a Brahmana, if he goes to pass stool, after that he should take bath, or anybody who goes to toilet, he is not fit to do puja. He should take bath. If anybody touches stool, he should take bath, because it is considered unhygienic, impure, like that. But the same Vedas, they say that cow dung is pure, and then it is used directly in the altar for bathing Lord Krishna, for cleaning the temples. So many cow dung, cow urine, and all that. So sometimes somebody may say it is contradictory, but it is not contradictory, because it is said in Vedas, it is perfect. In the same way, if you touch a man, any man's bones, it is considered impure. You must take bath. But we take bone of an aquatic animal to use to blow the conch. Conch is nothing but a bone of certain aquatic animal. So we use it directly in the altar, because Vedas said it is pure. In regards to cow dung, Srila Prabhupada quoted one scientist in Kolkata. He proved scientifically that cow dung doesn't contain any germs. It is very pure. So like that. In the same way, Ganges water. Ganges water is considered pure, even if there are some bubbles, dead bodies are flowing. Still, many people, Hindus, they believe the purity of Ganga, and they take bath without considering it, because Veda said Ganga water doesn't get contaminated. During British rule, they had done many experiments regarding this, and they had actually proven that Ganga water doesn't get contaminated. It has curative properties. There was a scientific paper I have read. Then not only that, you keep Ganga water stored for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, any number of years. Water doesn't get contaminated. Maybe 3-4 years back, when I went to Badrinath, I brought a few bottles of Ganga water. Then every day I use it for my doing achaman. Achaman. So it's never contaminated. I never felt sick. So because it is said in Vedas, we should accept that Ganga water, Ganga water is pure. Then we should take bath. We should drink. Srila Prabhupada said, anybody who drinks Ganga water every day, they will never fall sick. So you can see that experimentally. So in the like that, the knowledge that we received from Vedas is perfect. So initially there was only one Veda. Then at the end of Dwapar Yuga, Veda Vyas, yeah, he had considered that people of Kali Yuga, they are very short in memory, and then they are less intelligent, they are lazy. That is why they for the benefit of Kali Yuga people, he compiled in the book form. He compiled it in a book form. So that is why, otherwise they are called Shruti, because previously up to Dwapara Yuga, people are memory power is so huge, so that once they would hear, they would remember for through entire lifetimes. So one Veda is divided into four Vedas. That is why the original name of Vyasa was Krishna Dvaipayana. You know, so because Vyasa means dividing. So because he divided one Veda into four, that's why it's called Veda Vyasa. Otherwise, his original name was Krishna Dvaipayana Muni, because he was born in an island, Dweep. That's why, because he is black in color, that's why he's Krishna. His name is given Krishna. Krishna Dvaipayana Muni. Means one who thinks deeply, like that. Krishna Dvaipayana Muni. So then, actually, there was no need to read Vedas, because it is very, very difficult to understand Vedas. Then he wrote Mahabharat for the benefit of common people. Then in the Mahabharat, he had kept Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we should, we should we can ask, why we should read this Bhagavad Gita. So why we do something determines how we do it, and how long we do it. Suppose we study a subject such as philosophy to impress others. People are often impressed by hearing things uh, that sound wise, profound, philosophical. When we want to be praised by such people, um, then the question that drives our study of philosophy is, where can I find an impressive sound bite? And if our sound bite doesn't elicit praise, we soon stop studying philosophy. So while studying philosophy, when we seek to impress others, we deprive ourselves of wisdom that can help us improve ourselves. So philosophy improves us by explaining how we can better align with the nature of reality. So what is actually philosophy? Philo means love. Sophos means of truth. So philosophy means love of truth, right? So that is why the time-honored philosophical text Bhagavad Gita was spoken when Arjuna desperately needed to know the right source of action. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava pruchamitvam dharma samudha cheta yat shreyan sya nishitam bruhitan me sishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam dharma samudha cheta. I am bewildered in performing my duty. So my dear Krishna, please give me advice. What should I do? So Arjuna wasn't at all concerned about impressing anyone. Far from it. He really took the humble position of seeking spiritual knowledge in the middle of two huge armies. That too at the start of a war, wherein he was expected to shine as the foremost fighter, warrior. So by not caring about impressing the world, Arjuna could get the knowledge that he needed. So, and the Gita's wisdom dramatically improved his state of mind. Then he did what he had to do. So, when we study philosophy for improving ourselves, So this is the most important thing. We should study Bhagavad Gita to improve ourselves. Our driving questions are, how does this speak to me? Uh, so how can it expand my perspective? How can it guide my actions? And we get many precious insights of making our life more purposeful, more meaningful, and more joyful. So the resulting fulfillment enriches us far more than the titillation of impressing others. So that is why we should study Bhagavad Gita to gather knowledge that will improve our lives. And then I promise you that anybody who reads Bhagavad Gita in right spirit, then we can definitely improve our lives. Then all our sufferings will come to an end. And that's why, please, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.